Hello and welcome everyone to this new episode of TechMantra with Rohan and Sultan. I'm joined here with my co-host Sultan. Hello Sultan.
Hey Rohan, good to be here.
Today our focus is on SD-WAN, software-defined wide area networking, which is based on principles of software-defined networking. We have spent the last few episodes discussing SASE and cloud security, secure access service edge. But as you all know, SASE is all about bringing together SD-WAN with cloud security. While security is top of the mind and a key concern, it is important to recognize and understand the key role the SD-WAN plays.
Indeed, Rohan, SD-WAN plays a critical role in helping enterprises modernize their existing WAN infrastructure. When we think about the way enterprises have designed their existing corporate WAN networks, it's pretty much a hub and spoke, which essentially means lots of branch locations distributed across the globe even, all converging on some corporate data center. Now, essentially what happens is all the traffic from these branch locations is coming back or has to come back into these corporate data centers where it undergoes some kind of inspection and is then sent out to the public internet and the cloud. The problem is that model worked while everything was on-prem. But it's no longer efficient. It's very rigid actually and does not lend well to an environment in which we're moving to the world of cloud, multi-clouds. And essentially what we're saying is our businesses today are functioning on applications. And these applications are not just sitting on-prem, they're sitting in the cloud and they're moving more and more to the cloud. So in essence, the enterprise must transform its WAN infrastructure as it is today in order to be able to have the agility and to have that modern infrastructure within which it can operate in a world of cloud, so to speak.
And when you talk about the cloud, we are talking about not just one public cloud, we are talking about hybrid cloud environment out here. So building on that, SD-WAN provides significant benefits. So let's talk about those benefits. First, customers can leverage alternative transport options, which includes broadband internet, 4G, LTE, 5G, and a mix and match of these transport options, which allows significant reduction in the bandwidth cost. Enterprise also needs a smooth and a secure on-ramp connectivity to the cloud.
Absolutely. And in some cases, Rohan, would you agree that there may be a limitation as to what a customer can get in a specific country, in a specific region? Right?
Yes, some of the regions might not have those private circuits or maybe broadband circuits. They are just limited with LTE 4G network. So while the cloud presents significant benefits and opportunities, it is not an easy task to take on and come with significant challenges and complexity. With SD-WAN, customers now can directly and securely connect to cloud from their branch locations like a direct breakout. And then the key aspect which I want to bring out about the SD-WAN is all about this application performance. How? By avoiding that backhauling traffic to the corporate data centers, customers can improve on the user experience and the employee productivity by avoiding any latency which is incurred through this hairpinning or backhauling traffic all the way from branch to data center to access these applications, whether these applications are on-prem or in the cloud.
Absolutely, Rohan. And I think that's a great point. We tend to take this for granted, but that is a key difference, I think, that you've highlighted between a world of the old legacy infrastructure with MPLS, and now if you think about SD-WAN and what it's doing from an application perspective, and just building on that flexibility that SD-WAN brings, enterprise customers can now leverage much cheaper bandwidth because broadband is significantly cheaper than traditional MPLS. But they're also getting for that price nearly twice or three times that bandwidth. So the lucrative nature of what SD-WAN does, giving you that transport independence and allowing you to use broadband internet, becomes significant from the bottom line. Now, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people tend to think of broadband as a best effort service.
Yes.
It lacks security, it lacks that performance. And so that's one of the reasons why people have liked MPLS or private line, is that reliability, that predictability. But here again is a value that SD-WAN brings, because now SD-WAN has built-in capabilities that allows it to intelligently monitor links, make up for any latency, any packet loss, and ensure the quality of service the application user experience on those broadband links, such that now broadband becomes equally reliable from a performance perspective like MPLS. And then if you think about it, if I build on that notion from a branch perspective, SD-WAN is now simplifying also that footprint in the branch. Instead of having multiple siloed appliances, I have an integrated solution that's running with, it could be completely virtual, it doesn't have to be physical, but it's allowing me to now seamlessly insert new services because they're in software and service chain those software so that I have a very integrated solution without having to manually do that. And this is, again, to your point, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud, it's seamless.
Absolutely. I think you brought up a good point. Now that SD-WAN edge device or that device hardware or a virtual appliance, it's not just being looked as a router. It runs multiple network functions.
That's right.
Application recognition engine, what we call it as DPI, deep packet inspection engine, routing, switching, wireless access point. It runs all those network functions in a single box.
And in fact, I think it's fair to say, and you bring up again a great point, it's not just the router repurposed. It's not just a firewall repurposed. It's really a new form of networking where you're saying that's why you have that rigidity in your network is you're trying to use a router to do things that it's not designed to do. You're trying to use a firewall that was really designed to manage access controllers. So I think I commend on that point. That's a great point.
So Sultan, SD-WAN allows enterprise customers to apply this business policies to their application when it comes to that application performance which we just talked about, and making sure that the performance and the security is not compromised with the SD-WAN. And automation and orchestration is another key benefit. That simplicity, what SD-WAN brings to the table. You can manage, monitor, configure, troubleshoot all your sites, branch sites, from a single orchestration plane, from a single orchestration plane. In this competitive world, also time to market is key, and having nimble IT operations team require intelligent automation and orchestration.
No doubt, no doubt. And that's another thing that our customers tend to take for granted is the value of automation. And we're seeing that really beginning to change a lot of different industries and how it's being applied. Another key point that we don't want to forget about is security, right? Because
Absolutely.
People assume that SD-WAN is not secure. In fact, we hear security vendors badmouth SD-WAN. And I think that's not fair because SD-WAN certainly brings its fair share of security capabilities. Remember, security must be ensured, cannot be compromised, and can be achieved with SD-WAN through multiple ways. One is end-to-end segmentation, which is so critical. Whether you're companies doing mergers and acquisitions, whether you're an environment, whether you're financial, retail, healthcare, we are seeing the significant growth of IoT type of devices. By segmenting traffic, we can now isolate the traffic for these type of devices. These devices don't have a security agent. We can now isolate them by intercepting all the traffic that's coming in to that corporate environment, making sure it's clean of any malware, any ransomware type of attack. And we can ensure that traffic's integrity. Whether that traffic is going back out to the cloud, going somewhere within the corporate environment, for compliance reasons, segmentation provides a very powerful solution to our enterprise customers. Building on that, the policies that you can establish, very critical. Who can access what, where, when. And then that unified threat management capabilities. We're seeing more and more SD-WAN solutions that have built-in intrusion detection, intrusion prevention, stateful firewalls. Again, the idea is not to replace that firewall, but to complement it with additional security capabilities. So in my humble opinion, security is not lost with SD-WAN.
No, it is not.
And SD-WAN is bringing that connectivity that's critical. But at the same time, it's allowing enterprises to establish that underlying digital infrastructure superhighway, so to speak.
Absolutely. There are so many benefits to SD-WAN. But I would like to summarize SD-WAN benefits or those key pillars for SD-WAN. I think starting from simplicity and automation. The second point I want to touch base, SD-WAN is all about application performance, application performance, application performance. That's the second point I want to touch on. The third point which I want to touch base on is what you talked about, is the security which comes with the SD-WAN. So simplicity, automation, security we talked about, application performance is the key to SD-WAN.
Absolutely. And that transport independence.
Transport independence,
Right.
yes.
I mean, customers are no longer limited to the type of underlying transport infrastructure. It's actually abstracted.
Abstraction.
Completely agree with you.
Folks, hope this episode on SD-WAN has been helpful. We look forward to seeing you soon in the next episode. Till then, take care. And thank you for joining us in this episode of TechMantra with Rohan and Sultan. Thank you.
Thank you.